So the Beats Studio Buds Plus have some very important upgrades over the originals, like a much longer lasting battery life, better sounding microphones for phone calls, a better sounding ambient mode, and slightly better performing active noise cancellation. But today we're going to see how the Beats Studio Buds Plus compared to both the Sony WF-1000XM5s and the Sony Linkbuds S, because all of these earbuds are good options if you're an Android user.
We're going to pricing. The Beats Studio Buds Plus have a retail price of $170, and the Linkbuds S have a retail price of $200, but they both like to go on sale for $130. But then there are the Sony WF-1000XM5s, and these have a retail price of $300, but I do expect them to go on sale from time to time as well. Nonetheless, if you want to pick either of these earbuds up, they'll be linked down below. And if you want to further support the channel, pick up a Big Head approved hat, linked down below. We've got trucker hats and snapbacks. By buying a hat, you help the unbiased and unsponsored videos coming, and it also helps us cover more products and produce more versus videos. Thank you to everyone who's already bought a hat, and look out for more designs coming soon. And also, please remember to hit that like button, and let's get subscribed. Now first, let's talk about these cases. Now both the Sony WF-1000XM5 and Linkbuds S have decently small cases for everyday travel, but the XM5's case is the smallest here. But then there's the Beats Studio Buds Plus case. Now this case is decent for everyday carry, but this case is rather noticeable when it's in your pocket because of its larger footprint. But when it comes to charging these cases, they all charge via a USB-C port, which is good if you're an Android user. But only the XM5s have a wireless charging, and in general, it is a shame that neither the Linkbuds S or Beats Studio Buds Plus have wireless charging, because there are plenty of mid-tier ANC earbuds out there that have wireless charging.
Now, when it comes to battery life, this is an area where the Linkbuds S really struggles. Now, with the active noise cancellation turned on, the Linkbuds S have an advertised combined battery life of 20 hours. The earbuds themselves can go for 6 straight hours, and the case can supply 2 additional charges and a little bit. But with the active noise cancellation turned off, the Linkbuds S have an advertised combined battery life of 27 hours. The earbuds themselves can go for 9 straight hours, plus those 2 additional charges from the case. But then there are the Sony WF-1000XM5s, and these have an advertised combined battery life of 24 hours with the active noise cancellation turned on. The earbuds themselves can go for 8 straight hours, and the case can supply 2 additional charges. But if you were to use these earbuds with the active noise cancellation turned off, then they have an advertised combined battery life of 36 hours. The earbuds themselves can go for 12 straight hours, plus those 2 additional charges from the case. And with the Beats Studio Buds Plus, if you use them with the active noise cancellation turned off, they have an advertised combined battery life of 36 hours as well. The earbuds themselves can go for 9 straight hours, and the case can supply 3 additional charges. Overall, I do feel that the battery life on the Linkbuds S is weak, but in general, the XM5s do have the best battery life to case size ratio, because these have an advertised combined battery life of 36 hours in a smaller case, and their case also has wireless charging. Whereas with the Beats Studio Buds Plus, they have a larger case, and their case doesn't have wireless charging.
But now let's talk about fit, because all of these earbuds fit very differently from one another. Now, the Linkbuds S are a pair of standard fitting in-ear earbuds, as in they go into your ear canals a decent amount. Whereas the Beats Studio Buds Plus are a pair of shallow fitting in-ear earbuds, so they don't go in as deep, so they feel more comfortable because they're less intrusive. However, they can wiggle out a lot more easily than the Linkbuds S. But then there are the XM5s. Now, the XM5s are a pair of standard fitting in-ear earbuds, but they have foam ear tips. Now, these foam ear tips are supposed to offer more lockdown, and they're supposed to passively block out more noise, and they do that. But I find that these foam ear tips can get itchy after a while, whereas the silicone ear tips on these other earbuds don't. So overall, I feel the Studio Buds are the most comfortable earbuds here, whereas the Linkbuds S offer better lockdown, and with the XM5s, I would replace their foam ear tips for silicone ones, because the foam ear tips might not agree with everyone.
Now, when it comes to connectivity, with all of these earbuds, each earbud establishes a connection with your phone. So if you just want to use one earbud at a time, you can use either one. It doesn't matter. And this is the connection setup that we expect to see from all of our earbuds nowadays. Now, the Beats Studio Buds Plus are a good option for any power user out there with devices from different ecosystems, because these are very fast to jump from one device to another if you call to them from a different device. But also, if you were to pair these earbuds up with any of your Apple devices, they're going to automatically show up on all of your Apple devices associated to your iCloud account. But then there are the Sonys, and with both of these, they can both be simultaneously connected to any two Bluetooth devices at the same time, regardless of ecosystem. So these are a good option for any power user out there with devices from different ecosystems, because you can easily hot swap from one device to another. Now, yes, even though the Beats are fast to jump from one device to another, being able to hot swap from one device to another is just faster and more seamless. And when it comes to overall performance, all of these earbuds have zero latency across the board when watching movies or videos on your phone, whether you're using an iPhone or an Android device. But when it comes to audio codecs, the Beats Studio Buds Plus only have support for SBC and AAC, which is very typical for Apple earbuds. Whereas with both of Sony's earbuds, they both have support for SBC and AAC, but they both also have support for LDAC, which is Sony's own in-house high-res audio codec. Just keep in mind that if you do want to take advantage of LDAC, you do have to be an Android user because iPhones top out at AAC. And also, LDAC does take an additional toll on the battery life, which could be an issue for the Linkbud S.
But now let's talk about actually listening to music with these earbuds. Now, first off, with both of Sony's earbuds, you can directly adjust their EQ to your liking, so you can make them sound however you want. Whereas with the Beats, you can't adjust their EQ. But in general, the Linkbud S sound decent. However, they can sound a little narrow. Whereas the XM5s have a much better instrument separation, so they sound more open, and their bass also resonates a lot more, than the bass found on the Linkbud S. But then there's the Beats Studio Buds Plus. The bass on these earbuds also resonates very well, and there's a slight kick to it. But even though the Beats Studio Buds Plus have a lot of bass to them, they still sound balanced because their vocals are still very well pronounced. But also, they have better instrument separation than the XM5s, so these sound more open as well. My only critique about the Beats is that their treble is a little too high, but overall, I really like how the Beats Studio Buds Plus sound, and these are my preferred sounding earbuds here. Now, when it comes to the media controls on these earbuds, the Beats are using physical buttons, whereas the Sonys are using touchpads. But in general, the touch controls on the Sonys are more robust than the controls on the Beats. But I know some people just don't like to deal with touchpads on their earbuds or headphones.
But more importantly, both of Sony's earbuds have proximity sensors, so they will automatically play or pause your music if you take them out of your ears or put them back in. Whereas with the Beats Studio Buds Plus, they don't have proximity sensors, and I really do feel that this is a major inconvenience. And I also think that it's a very big deal that the Beats Studio Buds Plus don't have proximity sensors, especially given their price point. But now let's talk about the active noise cancellation on these earbuds. Now, the ANC on Sony's earbuds is very impressive, and the ANC on the Beats Studio Buds Plus is decent. But I do want to taper expectations here. I don't want you to think that the active noise cancellation on these earbuds is going to block out anywhere near as much noise as a pair of proper premium over-ear ANC headphones. Like, let's say the Sony WF-1000XM5s, Bose QC45s, AirPod Max, or the Sennheiser Momentum 4s. Now, when it comes to overall ranking, for me, the AirPod Pro 2 and Sony WF-1000XM5s are neck and neck for first place, closely followed by the Bose QC Earbuds 2. Right below them are the Sennheiser Momentum 3s. Right below them are the Sony Linkbuds S. Right below them are the Jabra Elite 85Ts. Below them are the Galaxy Buds 2 Pro. Below them are the Pixel Buds Pro. And below them are the Beats Studio Buds Plus. Now, below the Beats Studio Buds Plus are the Jabra Elite 4s. Below them are the original Beats Studio Buds. Below them are the Galaxy Buds 2. And below them are the Sennheiser CX Plus. So overall, the active noise cancellation on the Beats Studio Buds Plus has been improved from the originals. However, just don't go thinking that the Beats Studio Buds Plus are going to block out as much noise as a pair of these more premium ANC earbuds. But in general, the active noise cancellation on the Beats Studio Buds Plus is going to be useful in, let's say, your bus ride commute, or if you're in a slightly chatty office. Now, the reason why I say the Sony 1000XM5s and AirPod Pro 2s are neck and neck is because the AirPod Pro 2s do a slightly better job of blocking out road noise, aka a constant lower frequency sound, whereas the Sony WF-1000XM5s do a slightly better job of blocking out chatter, aka a random higher frequency sound. But overall, the difference between these two earbuds is very small, and in general, the active noise cancellation on both of these earbuds is very impressive. But finally, there's the active noise cancellation on the Linkbud S, and the active noise cancellation on the Linkbud S is also very impressive, especially given their price. And the Linkbud S do a good job of keeping up with the WF-1000XM5s, and the Linkbud S aren't using the foam ear tips found on the XM5s. And the Linkbud S block out noticeably more noise than the Beats Studio Buds Plus. But like I mentioned in the past, I only use the active noise cancellation on my earbuds when I have to, and what's really important to me is the quality of their ambient mode. Now, with the ambient mode on Sony's earbuds, you can adjust them to your liking, but in general, the ambient mode on all of these earbuds is good. However, the ambient mode on the Beats Studio Buds Plus is the active kind, meaning that they will actively block out certain loud noises if you're walking outdoors. So, for example, if you're walking outdoors and if a siren rolls by or if a dog starts barking, then the Beats aren't just going to blast your ears like the Sony's. But finally, here's the microphone test. Now, I feel that Sony has always struggled with their microphone on their earbuds and headphones, but it is getting better. Now, I feel that the microphone on both of these earbuds sounds decent, but I do feel that the microphone on the Sony WF-1000XM5s does a better job of focusing on my voice than the Linkbud S. But I do feel that the microphone on the Beats Studio Buds Plus sounds better because these do a better job of focusing on my voice. However, I feel that the Beats Studio Buds Plus do the best job here of dealing with noise pollution because right now, the Beats Studio Buds Plus are doing a really good job of reducing all over these road noise. Because for comparison's sake, if we were to switch over to my lapel microphone, you're going to clearly hear all of this road noise. But if we were to switch back over to the Beats Studio Buds Plus, it is severely reduced. Whereas with the Sony WF-1000XM5s, these are pushing down on my voice and you can hear some road noise in the background. And the same thing can be said with the Linkbud S. You can hear a decent amount of road noise in the background and they are pushing down on my voice. And when it comes to blocking out chatter, it's the same thing. You can hear a decent amount of chatter in the background and these are pushing down on my voice. And the Sony WF-1000XM5s are struggling with this chatter as well. Whereas with the Beats, these are doing a much better job of dealing with all of this chatter. So overall, I do feel that all of these microphones are decent enough to take phone calls with while in a quiet room. But with the Beats Studio Buds Plus, these do a much better job of dealing with noise pollution.
But with all that being said, if you're trying to choose between the Beats Studio Buds Plus and either of these two Sony earbuds, here's my breakdown. With both of Sony's earbuds, both of these earbuds have a better active noise cancellation than the Beats, and they both have smaller cases, which are more convenient. And the thing to look out with on the XM5s are their foam ear tips, which might not be for everyone, and the battery life on the Linkbud S is lackluster. But then there are the Beats Studio Buds Plus. These have a better performing microphone for phone calls, they have a better sounding ambient mode, they sound better, and they have a long lasting battery life. The thing is, their case is a little bigger and they don't have wireless charging, and their ANC isn't up there like with these other two earbuds. If you made it this far, I guess you enjoyed the video, so hit the like button and get subscribed. If you want to pick any of the products up, they'll be linked down below. And if you want to further support the channel, check out the merch. I made some shirts and hoodies that look and feel great. And you know I can be very particular, so I'll only slap my name on something if I'm really proud of it.